In the early morning, the sea looked calm. But beneath that calm, something dangerous was moving. Small boats, fast engines, armed men. They believed they were hunting prey. They had no idea they were approaching one of the most powerful warships on Earth. Piracy is not new. For decades, pirates in strategic waterways have attacked slow, unarmed merchant ships, cargo vessels carrying oil, food, or weapons. Their tactics were simple: approach fast, fire warning shots, climb aboard, take hostages, demand millions. And for years, it worked. But this time, their target was not a merchant ship. This time, they accelerated straight toward a United States Navy warship, a mistake that would change everything. From a distance, the ship looked quiet. No flashing lights, no visible weapons, no signs of activity. But inside that steel hull, advanced radar systems were tracking every movement. Thermal cameras were locked on the approaching boats. Combat information centers were already awake. The pirates were visible long before they believed they were seen. Every engine sound, every course change, every weapon on board those small boats was already known. As the pirate boats closed the distance, a powerful voice echoed across the water. "Unknown vessels, this is the United States Navy. Alter your course immediately." Silence. The boats did not slow down. They did not turn away. Instead, they sped up. That decision triggered a chain of events that could not be reversed. Inside the warship, the command was short and calm. General quarters. Red lights flooded the corridors. Steel doors slammed shut. Weapons crews moved with precision drilled into them through years of training. This wasn't panic. This was routine, because the U.S. Navy trains for moments exactly like this. The pirate boats were fast but lightly built. Fiberglass hulls, exposed engines, small arms, and improvised weapons. The U.S. Navy ship, however, stabilized heavy machine guns, long-range precision weapons, helicopters ready for launch, special boarding teams armed and waiting. This was not a fight. This was a demonstration of power. A second warning was issued, louder, sharper, unmistakable. "Stop your vessels now. You are approaching a United States Navy warship." Still, no compliance. At this point, the pirates realized something was wrong. The ship was not slowing. It was turning to face them directly. The pirates saw it. Weapon mounts rotating, crew members visible behind shields, a helicopter blade beginning to spin on the deck. This was no cargo ship. This was a floating fortress. Panic spread through the small boats. Engines roared as they tried to turn away. But it was already too late. Within minutes, U.S. Navy fast response boats were in the water, heavily armed, highly trained, moving faster than the pirate vessels could escape. Above them, a Navy helicopter hovered low, its presence alone enough to end resistance. The message was clear: you are surrounded. Something unexpected happened next. No missiles, no explosions, no dramatic firefight, just absolute control. One by one, pirate boats were stopped, weapons were dropped into the water, hands went up, engines were cut. The pirates had lost without the U.S. Navy firing a single shot. U.S. Navy boarding teams moved in, fast, silent, professional. They secured firearms, ladders used for shipboarding, navigation equipment, fuel supplies. Everything confirmed the intent. This was not fishing. This was an attempted attack. Dozens of pirates were detained, disarmed, restrained, outmatched. For many of them, this was the first time they truly understood who they had challenged. They were not facing a country, they were facing a global naval superpower. Why the U.S. Navy responds this way? The U.S. Navy does not seek conflict, but it does not tolerate threats. Every response is designed to send a message: protect international shipping, maintain freedom of navigation, prevent chaos on the world's oceans. Piracy is not just crime, it is a threat to global trade, food supplies, and international security. A global signal. News of the failed pirate attack spread fast, across Africa, across the Middle East, across military command centers worldwide. The message was loud and clear. U.S. Navy ships are never easy targets. Lessons learned the hard way. For pirates, this incident became a warning story, a tale told on shorelines and hidden camps. They thought the ship was weak. It wasn't. The sea remembers mistakes, and this one was unforgettable. The silent strength of naval power. The warship continued its mission. No celebration, no announcement. Just calm seas once again. That is how naval dominance works. Quiet, professional, absolute. Why this story matters. This wasn't just about pirates. It was about deterrence, discipline, preparation. A reminder that behind the calm ocean surface, unmatched power waits. The pirates tried to hit a U.S. Navy ship. They failed. Not because of luck, but because you cannot surprise a force that sees everything. You cannot outrun a force trained to intercept, and you cannot threaten a Navy that controls the world's oceans. U.S. Navy versus Somali pirates, a power comparison. On one side of the ocean stands the United States Navy, the most technologically advanced naval force ever assembled. With nuclear-powered warships, satellite-linked radar, armed helicopters, and globally deployed strike groups, the U.S. Navy is designed to detect threats hundreds of miles before they arrive. Every movement is tracked, every response is calculated. Training never stops. On the other side are Somali pirates, small groups operating from fast, lightly built boats. Their weapons are basic: assault rifles, rocket-propelled grenades, and boarding ladders. They rely on surprise, speed, and intimidation. When facing unarmed merchant ships, these tactics once worked, but against the U.S. Navy, the comparison collapses instantly. A single Navy destroyer carries more firepower than dozens of pirate groups. Its crew operates under strict command, real-time intelligence, and rules of engagement refined by decades of combat expertise. Pirates operate on instinct and opportunity. When these two forces meet, there is no battle, only control. One represents global security, the other desperation. And the ocean makes the difference brutally clear. If you want more real military encounters, naval confrontations, and global defense stories, subscribe to this YouTube channel, Military Official News, because the next incident may already be happening somewhere on the sea.